Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are you guys doing today?
Well, doing well.
Excellent.
Pretty
Well
good.
done.
Okay. Well, Rob, who currently says Neal under his face, is going to be running today's session, so I'm going to throw it over to him and let him take it away. And while he's doing that, I'm going to adjust all the names so that we all have our proper names under us.
All right, so
Good job,
I'm doing all the intros here. All right, so Neal, tell us about yourself, who you are, how you came to be on this show.
My name is Neal Gallery Koivu Pass Erickson. I am what I do for a living doesn't really matter for this situation, but I play a lot of D&D. I'm going to be playing Desmond today, not Desmond the bar owner, but another character who just coincidentally also happens to be Desmond. Trust me, there's nothing going on there. It's just a different guy named Desmond. He's a rogue.
It's a common name.
It is a common name, yeah. My father-in-law has a business partner named Desmond, even. It's a very common name. So he's a rogue using the 2 Neal rogue rebuild, so he's got like odd skills and whatnot. And some pretty good stats. He's got like 18 dex, 16 con, 15 perception, 5 willpower. You know, he's your everyday, really healthy, really perceptive, really dexterous, but god damn it, he's just gonna do it anyway, thief.
Okay. And so Nick, tell us about first who you're playing and why you have so much negative space above your head.
All right. I'm playing Zen, and he is just the unblinking wizard of shenanigans at this point, who really likes to drink. And other than that, I've just been playing War of the Chosen and refusing to end the one veteran level run I'm on, because I'm just getting my Templar up to over 40 movement. He can literally just go in, attack, and then run away out of sight range. So.
Okay, and let's see. Next up, Connar, why don't you tell us a little, a little something about who you're playing, and maybe an explanation for how you completely let us down the last couple adventures by not being there to be our hit point sponge.
All right, so hello guys. It's been a couple weeks. Today I'll be playing The Rock. Most of you guys know him. I think he's pretty great. He's pretty good fighter. He survived the level 5 curse, which I think some people still believe in. He's got a couple giant two-handers, and he dunks on people. And well, as I was telling these guys, these past couple weeks, been a little busy on Saturdays. Usually it's I'm working, or getting ready to go to work.
I'm pretty sure wars take weekends off. I don't know why the military would need to do anything on a Saturday.
They're just like, you know what? I know you guys aren't actually doing anything, so you guys can just come work on Saturday and Sunday. And we're like, we don't want to. They're like, tough. And they're like, yeah, good job. But no, as much as not much interesting has been going on, because my days are literally get there, study for 8 to 12 hours, depending on whether they give us staff hours or not, and then come home, and then probably just go right to sleep and wake up and do it all over again. There has been some good stuff. Like at the end of the day, the officer students do book count, so we make sure we go up and get all the books from the library, make sure we have accountability of each one, so that way we know where they all are, so people don't go run off with them, and then this students clean. Well, these past couple days, because we've been on the day shift when pretty much everybody's there, except for the people who work at night, that's usually when it's the most hectic. Well, on Thursday, we had about 30 books checked out, and of those 30, 6 were done correctly.
They didn't check the books out right? My God, call in the National Guard.
No, but you see, it's funny because right above where you check them out, there's a sign that shows you how to do it. It's even got a picture. It's got a picture, and it's right there. And so, like, say you just had a library full of like freaking dungeon master guides, and they're all like different editions, and you had to make sure you had all of them. And you come to one and it's like, all right, they checked out DMG. All right, which one is it? Oh, okay. Well, we've got this one missing, and these 5 missing, because these guys decided, okay, we have the same book, and it's got like 3 shelves of the same one. Well, instead of taking a giant span that are all the same like the same string and number, we're gonna take one here, one here, one here, one here. So we're missing like freaking 6 of one, and they basically signed it out with just the title and not the number. And as it turns out, it's all freaking off-crew mechanics. And the thing about for the nuke side goes is you got mechanics, electricians, and reactor operators. Usually the reactor operators are the smartest of the enlisted guys because, well, they're operating a reactor, and the Navy's like, yeah, you guys are pretty smart. The electricians, they don't have to do a lot, and they're pretty smart. So those are the ones that'll get you in trouble on purpose. Mechanics, oh yeah, they're sneaky. Mechanics, on the other hand, holy crap, they're some of the dumbest smart people I've ever seen. Like, especially the off-crew ones. It's like there's a sign right there. We have told you guys when you check these out how to do it, and you've been here for like 6 weeks now. How is it that you just completely ignore the sign, ignore what we tell you, and still do it wrong anyway? And so we're running around, and we almost have to tell the staff, hey, we lost these books, and then they have to make a freaking announcement to the whole building, and if it gets worse from there, the whole site. And so yeah, that was fun.
So are you blaming the mechanics?
They had the books.
You sure?
Yes, because we went up to their classroom and got them from them.
Oh my god.
This wasn't we're just hating on the enlisted guys. No, this was actually, we went up there and we got them from them. So
sounds like a Shenanigans campaign to me. Someone checked out the wrong book from the library. Time to take them on.
Honestly,
they had the books. They were caught red-handed.
No, some of these books had blue labels on them. No, but the thing is, honestly, like sometimes work is exactly like
sometimes you can
a
judge
super
a book by its
boring Shenanigans campaign. Where it's like, all right, guys, we're missing something. It's probably just a Kleenex, but screw all you guys. We're going home. You're staying and finding it. That's pretty much.
To be fair, if that would be happening in Shenanigans, their hands would be red with their own blood after we would be finished with them.
Oh yeah.
That's the usual way in Shenanigans.
Okay, and I see, assuming that Neal has labeled things correctly, that everyone's favorite kobold is back.
No. I'm playing a different character. I'm playing Tapian.
Oh, okay.
So tell us about Tapian.
Tapian, he's not a carbon copy of a DBZ character with the same name from a DBZ movie. He's an elf from a far away island with grey skin, red mohawk, and a ridiculous katana on his back, no, actually, and the search of an ancient evil, and he happens to looking for it here in this country.
Wait a minute. Don't you all also have like one missing hand that you have a prosthetic for?
Yeah. I lost a hand to a deck. No, it was not the deck of many things. It was a deck of devouring that was with the deck of many things.
Point of order. How do you use a two-handed sword with one hand?
I have a
remember he bought a wooden
prophetic.
hand.
I bought a prosthetic from the kobold
specifically to hold that.
How do you still use a two-handed sword with a prosthetic one?
It was the kobold, the ingenious one who made it especially for me. I had
kobold technology is way better than that gnomish.
And Ryan, who DM'd the session, told me that using it only for attacking with the sword is fine because it's not my main hand. that I lost. So
Okay.
should I do anything else with that?
Okay. All right.
With
The DM
that
says so, then the DM says so. Can't go back on that.
I mean, if Alejandro had like a peg leg with like a reversible winch and a fucking like a rope and that he could like swing a lasso himself and drag himself to, I think he could give him prosthetic hand to attack with.
I mean, using a two-handed sword with only one hand, that'd be like as ridiculous as using a chainsaw with just been strapped to your arm with a missing hand.
Yeah, but you need a chemistry book to do that one. I don't think kobolds have chemistry books.
I mean,
I think you're really underestimating KIT. It was established as a very, very fine learning establishment.
you know, if Droopy ever loses her hands, she just could replace them with undead rats.
Okay.
All right, and then so Simon, I guess everybody's favorite yoga instructor didn't escape from being held by the newly transformed female mine owner.
I think he was released by Max. No, wasn't or what's his name? But for some reason he's now infamous or in Shenanigans and not allowed back ever. So he's not, unfortunately, not coming back. But I'm playing the half-orc fighter and future fabulous fashion designer Cassandra instead. She'll be just fabulous.
All right. And so I see Ryan has got a new look. Ariel, going very Ariel today.
Very void. Very.
I think he's playing a ghost.
Yeah, so Ryan had his webcam break as he was setting up. So he is en route to a store to buy a new webcam. He will be joining us partway through today's session. If we live that long.
If we live that long, he might get here like at the end because it is California traffic.
It's LA, but it's Saturday at noon, so it should be fine, right?
Okay, so he'll be here like halfway through.
Something like that, yeah. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Neal is cooking some cereal.
He almost
He has to
burnt
check.
it.
Yeah, he
Yes.
burnt it the first time. He had to go back and make another bowl.
It's a very delicate art.
He's now making a cake out of
he
the
had the
burnt one.
he had the burner on too high.
I think he plans to use the burnt cereal to make cookies out of it.
All right. So we'll start everybody off here. I was debating on where to start people off, but I thought maybe why not Shenanigans?
Ooh, I like that place. Can we start there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So new.
Is there a table for us to sit? No.
Actually, there's only one left. You notice this morning Shenanigans is crazy busy. There are all kinds of people in here. You normally never see people in Shenanigans in the morning because all the regulars are nursing the hangovers, but everybody is here. And you
they must
see
have that breakfast
Everybody.
special.
Yeah. And they're not just here. And normally if you do see them in the morning, they're all hungover. But here, everybody's just alert. They're chattering away like crazy and everything. And Desmond comes over and goes, all right, lucky you guys finally came down. When you did, I've got one table left. Come on over here. We got a new thing going here at Shenanigans.
Is it
What's
Cajun
that?
taters?
It's bean water. So get this.
Bean water?
Bean water, yes. So Borscht has always been trying to push this bean water concoction, but it was just so bitter that nobody but orcs seemed to like it. And he seemed really disappointed. He was sure this was going to be a big money maker. So anyways, Cog Ranch Hammerbench was in here. And Borscht pushed this bean water on Cogwrench, and Cogwrench's like, I think if you were to infuse this with hot milk, let me see if I can whip something up. And so he put together this machine, and now this bean water is going like crazy. We threw in a lump of sugar, which Borscht was sure was, not the way that it should be drunk in the traditional Orcish fashion, but with the milk and the sugar, it's going really well. In fact, another problem I was having was that you don't put this bean water in a beer stein, because you want something ceramic to kind of keep it hot. But luckily, there was this potter that I used to know. I was going over to visit him, and he used to be a sailor, but then he was a potter, and he always made these wonderful mugs.
Does Desmond always talk this much
on them? Yes, he does. And it's just you never realize it when you are Desmond. So I went, and he had this big run. He normally likes to put sea creatures all over. Lately, he'd been making these mugs with mermaids on them. So he had a whole bunch of them. Nobody seemed to really want them, so I got them cheap. So here, have your tasty milk-infused bean water in this cup. Now, he's a little bit racy. He's a sailor, so it's kind of a racy picture of a mermaid who's flashing her goods at you. But hey,
that sounds
I think
like
that's
a great idea.
Take a close look at this mug. What does it... Rob, tell me, what does it mean when he says flashing a mermaid's goods at you? What sort of goods are we talking about here?
She's got her bean water on display, right?
Yeah, she's not wearing the traditional seashells, just sort of covering things up with her hair. And for some reason, she's got two tails, which she's got straight up here, kind of holding them back.
Rob, like you mean like this?
Almost like that. Almost like that.
Right?
By coincidence. Yeah.
Yes, bean water.
I'm glad you like the coffee of my homeland.
And he says, this bean water, this is going so great. It's, people are now getting sobered up so they can start drinking earlier. I can't see a downside to this. And I've made it even better by not just any milk, but I've been putting in cream made from Bessie's milk. And I'm sure that with all this going on, nothing will ever put an end to this. And this will just keep going on.
Sounds like you're
Lots
beginning
of
of a
money
new
for me.
era, Desmond.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
sure. You won't have like some sort of crazy demon or something come on and clog up Bessie's udders again.
No, I can't imagine anything would ever happen to Bessie again.
Do you have problems getting sugar to the building?
I did, as it is a New World product.
Uh-huh.
But then I realized that this whole place is a new world and it's a fantasy world. So what the hell? Rocks fly it in.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of looking for work. If Bessie's going well and the bean water's going well and the sugar is coming well, I kind of feel like we're out of a job, Desmond.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that. There was this old wizard who was looking for work or looking for adventurers. He wanted to hire me, but I told him I'm not in that field anymore. But I said that when you guys show up, I would point you out to him. I think he went up to get a room. He said he'd be down in the morning. I'm sure he's about to come down immediately.
Well, until he's calmed down, how about we taste a bit of this great bean water of yours?
Yes, it's Borscht, come bring them some bean water. And so Borscht comes out very proud, and he brings you each some. He's like, "This is Borsch's special blend. Now, some bean water is just the cast-offs that are mass-produced, but I like to go out and specifically choose the fullest beans and press them myself to get the best flavor.
I'll have one.
So you like the big beans then?
Yes.
Big beans. Okay.
Later on, we're having some panpipe flutists coming in to play some music just for atmosphere.
Well, I mean, if you
But
want
anyways.
atmosphere, I can provide some.
I'll try one.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough with this, which I'm sure has nothing to do with anything that's going to happen with the adventure. And oh yeah, here comes that old man who wanted to talk to you guys.
Yeah, so heading down the stairs, really slowly, painfully slowly, you see a hunched over elf who just looks ridiculously old.
Dang, he's old.
Leaning heavily on this staff. This staff just looks incredibly well used. It's covered in runes. There's a blue crystal up on the top and scorch marks all around it. And he kind of limps over this old long-bearded elf. And he goes, You must be the folks that Desmond told me about. Do you mind if I join you?
Please, old man, pull up a chair.
Yes,
We shall stay up.
I told Desmond I was here to hire the very best and most skilled adventurers. But you'll do.
Oh.
Thanks.
You don't even know what we can do. And you're already prejudging us? Seriously?
Well, I wanted to hire Desmond and Lizzie, but they said they were out of the business for some reason.
Yeah, they're retired.
And they said the other groups were busy, but that you were definitely their strong third choice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes. Yeah.
A strong third, a bronze. Go for the bronze, he said.
To be held in such high regards.
If you look around, it's good that we are not the best 10th choice.
I suppose. Yes. All right, old wizard man, what can we do for you? Third bestly.
I need to hire you for a mission. I would do it myself, as I am a great and powerful wizard. But I'm way past my prime. And sometimes I get confused. And sometimes I forget my adult undergarments, and adventuring just isn't for me anymore, as much as I hate to admit it.
That's fine. You know, it's people like you that let people like us live the way that we live.
Yes, so I was once a great and powerful, extremely wealthy wizard. But those days are past.
You're not wealthy
But in my time, I made many enemies. And among them was the foul wizard Wormstrom. Wormstrom!
Did you beat him in checkers or something there, bud?
Yes. And we've had a long feud, and then it all came to a head when 10 years ago, it's my family reunion with my beloved family. I had to go out to use the old man's room, and when I came back, he had polymorphed all of my family members into barnyard animals and taken them to sell.
My God.
No, old man. Careful. You have to careful about your heart rate.
I went looking, trying to find them so I could turn them back. My poor wife, he had turned her into a chicken. I finally tracked her to Old MacDonald's farm, but apparently Old MacDonald had already sent her off to New MacDonald's tavern, and she'd been made
into nuggets. She was very good with ranch, though.
Your wife was turned into nuggets?
Yes.
Oh, because she was polymorphed into a chicken. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Did you just
least she was
say that you ate your wife?
There was nothing else to do though, and ranch is so very, very good.
I get it. It's hard to pass up some good fried chicken.
Yes.
It is.
So-
And you know,
Over-
what better way to remember your wife? Huh? Like,
Now I felt like she was inside me.
Yeah.
And don't we want to carry our loved ones inside us?
Yeah.
If only for
sure.
roughly 24 hours.
Yeah. For sure.
Something like that.
So
I
these
take
last 10 years, I've spent my fortune and my life tracking down my family members and trying to polymorph them back. But one has taken me so long. My great-great-granddaughter, Elbasandra. But I finally found her here.
Oh.
Near Desu. I went to where she was being held, and I threatened them, and I tried to cast Meteor Swarm when they refused to hand her over. But I had memorized Mordenkainen's adjustable bed by mistake as my
Oh,
ninth level
God.
spell. And it was almost entirely useless.
well, if you let a bed drop down on them, bed is heavy, could crush a man.
it's not quite the same as Meteor Swarm,
Yeah.
I say to Tapian.
Depends on the height.
It's still not quite the same as Meteor Swarm.
He
Zen.
smirks.
Zen, what's Meteor Storm do?
Meteors.
So it became clear to me that I was just too old for the adventuring business, and I need young blood like you. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to break in to the Luna Acres high security farm to rescue my daughter, my great-great-granddaughter, Elbasandra, who has been transformed into a cow. You might know her.
Don't say
As-
it. I will fucking kill you if you say that. No, we are not taking this job. Guys, we can't do this.
Oh my god.
I lean over to Desmond. What are you
She is
talking
being
about?
sexually assaulted every day.
What? What kind
Tapian
of
does-
high security farm are they running?
Tapian just takes a long
is-
sip of his coffee.
Oh god. All right, okay, old man.
This is
We need some
can't
time
let
to
that
think
go
about what you're saying. Okay, we need to think
Yes.
about this. What's your name, old man?
My name
Yeah.
is Elrond. I was once known as the Bard of the Hub.
Yes.
The Elrond Hubbard.
Yes,
And-
yes, we get that. Okay, Elrond, we need to go
I will
talk with
pay- I-
other Desmond for just a quick moment here.
Before you turn this down, I know that this mission, you might be thinking this mission difficult. You might be thinking this mission questionable. You might even think this mission impossible. But I have come prepared. I know I have not much left of my wealth, but I will pay you the little bit I have, 1,000 gold. I know it's but a pittance.
all right. I'm down to do that.
And I have equipment that you can use in this mission should you choose to accept it. And you can even keep it afterwards.
What did you say that cow's name was?
The cow, well, she's of course named Elvisandra,
Oh yes, of course.
but you might know her as Bessie.
Guys, it's just a coincidence. If there's more than one Desmond, there's more than one Bessie. And if
How
there is,
does?
Yeah.
and if there is, I know those guys at the farm. I saved them from a demon once. Zen, you were there.
Just,
It's a
just
different
to go.
place now. Every time Bessie's owned by somebody
Oh
else.
no!
It's
Dang it.
odd, isn't it?
old man, just to make sure, what does she look like?
Well, she has long golden hair and kind of an upturned nose that kind of
As a
crinkles
cow.
when she smiles.
As
Oh,
a cow.
well, she has 4 hooves and beautiful blonde horns and an upturned nose that kind of crinkles when she moves.
I mean, what does she look like as a cow? What's her fur like?
It's very short.
Some kind of color.
What color is it?
Well, I hear she's black and white.
She's a California cow. Okay.
All right, good enough. I think that's enough info to go off of, guys.
Sure. Excuse me there, Elrond. Why don't you give us a moment to chat amongst ourselves, and then we'll come back with our decision on whether or not to take this job.
Wait, if before you take a moment, can you please look under the table?
Look under the table.
Yes, please.
I just let Cassandra look under the table. I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
Look at Cassandra.
Door. Yeah.
Is the front of my robe wet?
I do this. Yeah, you should probably get changed, old man.
Oh God.
Oh, all right. I guess why don't you take a moment and I'll take a moment. I'll be back soon.
All right. So
All right.
gather us all in close. All right, guys.
I-
I've got an idea. We'll just do exactly what we did last time. Except this time we're also going to have a different cow. All right. So we're going to get a different cow in there. And we're going to start feeding that cow meth, just like last time. And except this time, dang it, Zen, don't freaking kill the freaking drug dealer again. All right.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so we'll just get another cow. We'll start that one up on meth. And then we just go in there, and we got one cow here, and boom, other cow's there, and all is like, whoa, what happened? Oh, I don't know. And we just play dumb. This guy gets his great, he gets his family back. They get a cow there. Blame it on someone else, and everything will be good.
Listen,
Well, hold-
Brock.
There's some bigger picture questions I think we need to be asking here.
Oh yeah, freaking! Why are they sexually assaulting the cow? Like that's
Oh God. No, they're milking her. They're milking her.
No,
But since it's a look, okay. Here's the problem that I see. If we do this job, I'll look around to make sure old wizard man's not around. If we do this job, Desmond's gonna hate us. The whole
Yeah.
town is gonna hate us. We're gonna become the villains of this place. So let me ask you:
yeah,
is that something that's worth doing?
no.
I'll have
blame
the
it on
feeling.
someone else.
I'll have the
Get the
feeling
replacement cow.
if I drink any more of this bean water, it would have very bad influence on my body.
I don't see how
I'd
that's
become addicted.
I don't see how that's related to what we're talking about here.
What?
We're talking about like the ostracization of getting rid of Bessie. What if we just give him a different cow? And
But
then
then
the
we-
polymorph
No.
doesn't work, and we're like, well, sorry, you must have had the wrong cow because this was definitely Bessie.
I don't know who this Bessie is. So
This Bessie is like the prized cow of this entire region. You get in trouble if you mess with her, man. She's like the
Yeah.
bovine Lizzie.
So you want to get
I don't think
like
Lizzie would
a
like that.
very similar looking cow then?
Yeah, can we get a similar looking cow? And just give him
No.
that. He's a crazy old man. He accidentally cast Morton Chitin's unfolding bed instead of Meteor Swarm. If he can't polymorph her, that's his fault, okay?
that also means if we anger him by bringing him a false cow, he might accidentally cast a meteor swarm on us.
I might take
You-
my
you
chances
just said
with
he's a
that
crazy old
rather than
man.
angering Shenanigans as a whole.
The
I
lady's
mean-
right, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have the
tough-
feeling if he would,
a tough
he would
decision.
probably just kill us and not burn the tavern down.
I'm gonna be honest. I wanna, get kicked out of this entire town for trying to capture Bessie. I've already saved at least once.
It's true. How many of us have risked our lives to save this cow to keep her milk flowing? Right?
Yeah.
Does anyone have the forget spell? Can we just can you cast it on all of us and we can forget this entire conversation? Because I'm gonna have a hard time drinking that milk now, knowing where it really comes from.
Oh, I've got no problem. Just takes a drink.
Okay.
Well, what if he's wrong?
And that's
Might
not
just be-
actually.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if this whole time he's just been some freaking dingus or something, and he walked out to old man's room, and then when he walked out, he just started walking the completely wrong direction and ended up at a barn. I was like, oh my God, my family turned to aminals, and then he's just kind of gone on a senile rampage.
I agree. This is a very real possibility.
Like freaking forgetting his old man clothes everywhere, and his family's been trying to find him, but he's like somehow one step ahead because like he's a wizard and senile and
Well, we don't know how powerful he really is. He says he wanted to conjure a meteor swarm, but maybe he was having a fit.
I mean, maybe it's just like being delusional. Maybe it's just like thinks he can do it.
So you guys in favor of just getting a different cow and giving it to him, just like buying a regular cow?
First, I would ask him to prove to us that he really is a powerful wizard. I mean, he says he has great tools to give us to aid us in this mission, but what if he's just giving us crap?
If he's really that great of a wizard, why couldn't he have like done something to prevent him from either aging in the first place, or maybe like
yeah.
I don't know, maybe like it's if it's so
Or-
powerful, like is it?
Or
should
what
it
if
be,
he's so old
like
because he's done so
is-
much magic?
Is there no like spell you can make to make yourself younger, or maybe like your
You
I don't
know,
know about this whole wizard thing, but it's just like
I'm
is there
actually
something I
won-
would do if I was a
I'm-
powerful wizard?
I'm actually wondering. He's an elf like I am, and yet he's still here while being so old. Normally, our folk goes to certain shores on a great journey across the waters
Maybe it's
to
not an
island
elf.
shores.
You guys go to Florida.
I don't know what this Florida is.
Oh, you see, it's like, so there are two places that you go when you're an elf and you're old. It's Florida and Arizona. And you ask why? Well, one's a desert and one's a swamp. And like, why would you want to go there? Well, honestly, because things go to a desert to die, things go to a swamp to die. That's what you guys do. You go to a nice hot place to die.
No, we've sent our old people to Florida because that's where the old and crazy people go.
I heard of some people rumoring about the land we're going to with the name of New Zealand. Don't know where that is, but
I don't believe you.
All right, guys, we're getting sidetracked here. We have an important mission to decide whether we do or not. Let's not worry about these ridiculous countries that don't exist.
I'm against it.
Okay, so why don't we just take a vote? All in favor of just giving him a different cow? Raise your hand. Okay.
convince me. Convince me of your.
We got 3 votes to 2.
My point against it would be if he's a powerful wizard, we're gonna get shit on.
Okay.
If he's a powerful
let us-
wizard, we could just be like, we're the 3rd best adventurers in Shenanigans. We made a mistake. We'll go get your real cow and then solve that problem when we get there.
Okay, let us first let him prove that he's a real powerful wizard. Then we make our decision. I really would not want to anger a crazy Silner wizard who could accidentally blow us up.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it would be an accident if you did, didn't it? Wouldn't it?
Yeah. He could blow us up and just say he did not intend to.
But like he could blow us up anyway. Like it's just it's an old.
I mean,
you know,
he's, however powerful of a wizard he is, he's still coming to us to get the cow. He's still screwing things up. I'm not too concerned about the Morton Kyton's folding bed man who ate his wife because she was turned into fried chicken, blowing me up. Like,
Do not joke about a bed. Did you ever land in a folding bed? Why
no,
not fold it in?
of course not. You'd have to be a crazy old man to be folded into a folding bed. And I'm not a crazy old man. I am
Yes, but he could fold you. Probably could fold you into the bed.
I feel like you're very You're both terrified of this wizard and not terrified of him at the same time. He's probably just a batty old man. It's fine. We got 3 votes, right? 3-2. Let's go take the job and give him a different cow. Right? Desmond looks around for like everyone's approval, right?
Sure.
And I feel like you guys aren't really with me on this one.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, let me say this. If he tries to kill you, I will say it was your idea. Because it was.
Wow, what a good traveling companion. You really have my back. I know I can trust you. You're the sort of person I know I can, rely on in a pinch, aren't you?
Oh, don't worry. If you ever get in trouble, he'll give you his left hand.
Situation that would not kill us all.
I'm also quite curious what his high security farm looks like.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like I don't really like. Is it?
What is it?
How
mean?
many high security farms are there? Like,
This is the only one I've heard of, and maybe as far as he knows, high security means there's some other old guy in that farm yelling at him to get off of his lawn.
Possible.
I mean, that sounds like old man high security, if you ask me.
Maybe he's out there with a hose or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just like, get off my lawn! And he's like, ooh, that guy knows how to defend his property.
Okay. So, are we decided on this course of action or not? Because we kind of need to give him an answer.
I think we have to first see if there are any cows available for sale that are similar to the one that he wants before we can really.
Okay.
We should really look around first to see what our options are.
Well, we kind of got to give an answer shortly, right?
I think we just tell the other Desmond, hey, this guy is wanting us to steal Bessie. And then,
Is that so wise? It's like, I mean, I think Desmond be like, wow, that old guy is crazy. Why would you?
Yeah, I could see see Desmond saying that. It's like, you guys are crazy. Just humor him for a bit. He's not actually going to do anything.
Yeah.
That's usually kind of the stuff we get out of Desmond anyway.
Yeah.
Also, how long has Bessie been a part of this town?
Since I can remember.
Forever and ever.
God, I seem to recall way back long ago, the first rumors out of Shenanigans and Berkshire were that of Bessie and doppelgangers.
Well, remember, this isn't the same Bessie.
This isn't? How many Bessies have there been?
I don't know. It's probably like, I just know this isn't the Bessie. It's like some cow they hopped up on meth. So everyone just got addicted to it anyway. And like, this milk is good. Then I think they cow got unmethed. I don't remember.
Well, isn't this cow also the one that's like part of the sentient cows?
Maybe that's
It's getting milked. Listen, this cow is a load of shit. Just like everything that's going on around this cow is Shenanigans itself.
Well, we have to give him an answer. So let's say we look into it.
This cow is
all right.
weirdness.
I can get behind that. We'll look into it. That's very committal, but gives us some flexibility. I like where you're going with that, Tapian. That's good.
all right. Let's shall we talk to him then?
Sure. Cassandra, you want to be the point of contact with this guy?
I don't know. I already seen too much. Like,
But you've already seen that, right? You've already sacrificed
I'm
yourself.
scarred for life.
Do you want the rest of us to also be scarred for life? Gotta take one for the team, man.
I will talk to him.
All right, Tapian. This isn't gonna go well.
Okay. I will stand up and wait for the wizard to return.
All right. So
next
the
to
wizard
stairs.
ambles out from out back where the outhouse is. He goes, Hello, sorry about that. We can talk for, maybe we can talk for... He turns around. What color are the back of my robes?
Tapian does not look at only looks at his, at the back of his head and just slowly goes up to him. Do not worry about it. We have reached our decision. We will look into it. Anyway, I have a question for you. Kind of quiet my voice. We kind of need proof of you that you really are such a powerful wizard. I mean, for all we know, you could just be a delusional elf.
Oh. Well then, do you want my Keepers of the Elder Flame membership card?
That does not really prove that you are a powerful wizard.
Oh, well, what if I turned you into a newt?
How about turn around?
Would that be acceptable?
Wait, let me roll a d4. Tapian does like on the table. How about you transform? He whispers that to the old guy. He points at the rock, him into a newt.
Yes, I seem to remember there was something about if there's a difference in intelligence, because I think that was part of the problem with poor Elbasandra is she's become a cow in mind only, but I don't know. Is there much difference in intelligence? How much is there between the rock and a newt? Because that could be important.
I think it should be fine in the end. I mean, he already looks like quite animal-like.
All right,
I'm
because
still whispering to him.
Transforming a higher intelligence creature into one of significantly lower intelligence.
This was his plan all along.
He's actually
means that the creature must survive a system shock.
Calm down, so he can make me freaking roll a system shock. God,
it was my plan all along.
I freaking drive over there and dump you in a lake.
Yeah, drive over the ocean.
Drive across the Atlantic.
That's how mad I am. Like, just going.
Well, I wouldn't laugh too hard because he does have access to submarines.
Yeah, but he's gonna be laughing so much when there's a freaking tomahawk going through your window.
So not only can he cross the ocean, but you won't see him coming.
You mean the throwing axe tomahawk?
Yeah. Like gonna hop in my little 4-door sedan that I just put some waterproofing on it, some duct tape in there. Got a big giant airbag so I can keep driving.
Anyway, whispering. So, what about it? If you don't want to polymorph someone, you could try something else.
Well, I have polymorph self memorized for today, but I could memorize polymorph other and transform him. Or I could just change myself. Either way.
I think that would be quite impressive.
Okay, so what would you like me to become?
Whatever you can think of. Make it surprising.
All right. He starts casting a spell, and then there's a nifty magical poof, and then you see him now as a ridiculously proportioned redhead in a sparkling red dress. And he says, "So, how do you like me now?"
Is he still old?
No.
Okay.
Well, I
Basically turned himself into Jessica Rabbit.
Right.
But still has the old man voice.
Yes.
Well, that. Okay, Ronzale's like, well, that's impressive.
anyway, and now more loudly about those items you talked about.
Yes, it seems to me that a lot of times people hire adventurers but send them off almost to certain failure without properly equipping them. And I would actually like this mission to succeed. So I thought I would actually send you prepared.
So, and with what would you prepare us?
Oh, just a few little things I whipped up. Should you accept the mission? He starts laying them out on the table. 5 healing potions. Two scrolls of Dispel Magic. You may need these in order to disable any alarm spells or other magical protections.
Jesus, what are we breaking into?
A high.
He lays out another scroll. A scroll of Alter Self, because sometimes when taking on a mission that seems impossible, it can be useful to disguise yourself. He pulls out a little bundle of black cloth and a spider climb scroll. This scroll is of spider climb. Although the spell is somewhat defective, it only works on someone if they're wearing this really tight black outfit. But if they are, then the spider climb spell should work perfectly, and you can drop down on things, from above if you need to. And finally, a wall of fog scroll. I'm not sure precisely what you would need this for, but I had it lying around and I thought, why not? Just in case. And then additionally, and he pulls out a big black collar, big enough for a cow's neck. This is the collar of Iron Will. I know that my granddaughter's mind is most likely long ago through a series of saving throws that would ultimately have failed, would have lost her mind and become that of a cow. But this collar may allow her mind to break through temporarily so that you can confirm that it is, in fact, Elbasandra. Call to her, and perhaps her name will allow her to remember if she's wearing this collar.
I have another question. You're a powerful wizard. Can you enchant items? Like weapons and armor?
Yes, it's possible if I had all my equipment, but as I said, I've only got a few thousand gold pieces left to my name. Utterly broke. I'm so glad you're taking this mission. Is basically charity.
Something fishy
Now,
about this guy.
Sneaking in to the compound, I think it would be very difficult during the day. You're the experts. But I've done some reconnaissance, and during the day, they have alarm spells around the entire farmyard. There are up to 20 minotaurs and another 20 cowboys patrolling the compound. In addition to air support, they've apparently rented griffins, a pair of them, from a place called Uber in Sand Canyon. I don't know. I think this is some sort of callback. But anyways, they have these rented griffins to provide air cover so that it's difficult to approach during the day. But I think that a small team of people with highly diverse skills may be able to sneak in at night.
Oh God!
I need more wine for this.
Oh
I
God!
am the best.
At night, they no longer have the griffins. I think partly because of flying at night or not being able to see very well with the air cover being less useful, but it might also be because Uber charges more after hours. I'm not sure entirely, but they don't have the air cover at night. And the Minotaurs go home, and it seems like it's only patrolled by a few teams of cowboys with bloodhounds who are very good at tracking. It seems that there's rules for how they do that. But the barn itself is very high security. I don't know what you'll find inside, but I suspect it will be a series of challenges and traps and perhaps even some monsters.
Well then.
I'll lean over to Desmond. Go to your cell. Do you just get him another go? Or do you want to go through with this?
Which Desmond?
You.
Oh. I look to the rest of the party. Oh my God.
I just got a big grin on my
confirm
face.
Legit, if these scrolls are legit.
Could I?
Zen would be able to, as an actual mage. You can tell if they're real scrolls or not.
All right, are they?
They are all legit.
Oh, God.
Just making sure, like, you know, just being crazy, like, I swear, scrolls of paper with writings on them that I made in the elderly home.
Yeah.
What do the comic books say there, Zen?
Oh, they're all the actual scrolls.
Okay.
So actual powerful wizard. Okay. I'm quite intrigued, like, to check it out, I must say.
I have just one last question before we go on this mission. Excuse me, Mr. Elrond. Who was it again that polymorphed your family?
Wormstrom! He's still jealous because of that girl way back. You see, I was walking down the street.
No, it's fine.
With
is
an
there
onion at my belt.
Is there any chance that Wormstrom would come after us for unpolymorphing
blue
Bessie?
Robes. When I met Elbisandra's great grandmother, she was looking so beautiful, and she happened to be walking with her boyfriend at the time, Wormstrom. But then when our eyes caught, well, anyways, the important thing is I had an onion at my belt.
What?
Oh, this seems to be a tangent.
Is there any chance that Wormstrom might come after us for helping to undo his work?
No. I don't think there's any chance of that at all. I haven't seen him again since he polymorphed my family. I'm sure he feels that he's finally gotten the best of me.
Or maybe he's dead.
You seem a bit confused from time to time, old man.
Why, thank you. I thought I was confused all the time, but that's good news that it's only sometimes.
Maybe this will help your mind a bit on track. And I shove the coffee of which I drank only a few sips over to him.
Oh, what is this?
It's Bean water.
It's a new drink.
Don't give him that. Like his bladder is gonna just burst. Like he is
Guess
just.
why? I suppose I'll try some.
Oh dear.
He sips it down.
Clean up on aisle 5.
It has a full-bodied flavor. It reminds me of, I don't know, that time in Paris, or maybe it's a comforting feeling, like family.
Well,
Right.
something like that.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, they changed the guard of the cowboys on the outside at midnight. That might be when it's easiest to sneak in.
Wouldn't there just be more
I'll
of them?
meet you. I'll be waiting for you. Well, there's some confusion as they change. So I'll wait for you in the field west of the barnyard. It's right, you can't miss it. It's right by the cliff. That's why they don't look over there, because they don't expect anyone to come up over the cliff. So I'll wait there for you to bring my dear Elpsandra to me.
You really fought this one through, old man.
Yes, I find that when there's a mission that's very difficult like this, that it's best to have a well-coordinated plan, but that it should not be told ahead of time to anyone who might be watching, so that it all seems very surprising despite being well planned.
I get you. All right, guys, I have a plan.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Well, anyway, and I look at the items on the table. I can't use any of this. You have to divide it up upon you. My people kind of lack the proper abilities to handle the magical energies of these.
Oh, you wanted the extra points and took a bunch of non-abilities to use magic items, did you?
Well, we only have experience in using armors, weapons, and weird stuff.
I see. I too once took a bunch of disabilities to gain points that I later regretted.
I don't know what you're talking about. Our whole race works like this.
If you
Our
say
culture-
so.
In our culture, we experience this for ourselves. We cannot harness the energies of scrolls. I've tried before, and potions, well, they kind of lose their potency if I imbibe them myself. But if someone else gives me a potion, that should be totally fine.
So you're saying it would not heal you?
Well, only if I take it myself. Actually, I never got the. I never could open a potion, I think.
Well, it's
Kind-
probably because
Well,
you
I
only
think
have
you
one
like
hand.
these.
It's
I made them blueberries so that they go down easier.
All right, old man. Okay. Give us this stuff, and we'll go. What was your daughter's name again? Elcassandra?
Elbessandra.
Elbassandra.
Cassandra, Desmond. I think now you're confused. I'm
Look,
Cassandra.
there's a lot of weird names going on here. Elbassandra. And you're
El burrito.
Elrond, the Hubbard.
Elrond, the hub bard. Oh my god.
All right.
Now, the farm is located to the south. So you don't want to go north, like towards the old abandoned extinct volcano. No, it's to the south. Luna Acres High Security Farm.
you say
Luna
west?
Acres High Security Farm.
Yes.
Wait, you said west instead of south, right?
The farm is to the south. I will wait in the field to the west of the farm, the pasture. Now, there is, just so you don't get confused, on Luna Acres, they also have a high security chicken coop where Henrietta, the greatest chicken in all the land, is kept. But she's not related to me, so I'm not concerned about that. But just don't get confused by the high security chicken coop.
Do you think she also
don't-
tastes good together with ranch?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Do you think this Henrietta also tastes quite good together with ranch?
Well, she's supposed to be the greatest chicken in all the land, so I imagine she would taste amazing. But it's probably better to simply get poached eggs, which would be the best poached eggs in all the land, over and over.
Very well.
Anyways, I fear that the back of my robes might be brown before too long, and so I need to run off, but I shall meet you tonight, and perhaps this is a time for us all to take a bit of a break before we go off into this very difficult, extremely hard to do mission.
Well, why don't we do that then? And why don't we come back from break on the other side with a little bit more shenanigans? Bye-bye, everyone.